What is up out there, fellow wrestling fans? This is Caleb and Jeremy from the WWPWW, and we are here to talk about the Royal Rumble.
And TakeOver Philadelphia.
And that. Yeah, two fantastic, amazing, fun days of wrestling. One of the best takeovers, in my opinion. Some of the best matches all around, and one of the best Royal Rumbles, especially the Royal Rumble matches. Some of the best Rumbles we've seen in a really, really long time. So much fun, so much stuff to get to. We're coming to you the morning after Royal Rumble special episode. Wanted to allot ourselves plenty of time to talk about both TakeOver, because we absolutely need to talk about TakeOver.
Yep.
And to talk about Royal Rumble at a reasonable length to where we could get a lot of stuff in. So, I'm sure we'll talk about some of the big stuff that happened. We'll wait and save, because there's some news on some of the big stuff that happened. We'll wait and talk about those later. So, anything else before we jump into TakeOver?
I don't think so. Let's get it.
All right, cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We have NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, which was an amazing show. We get started. The Undisputed the Undisputed Era versus the Authors of Pain for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Jeremy, what did this match do for you?
It was clunky at times, but you have these two smaller guys fighting these two ginormous guys. I like my favorite thing about the match is they took out one of the Authors of Pain's legs, and that was the story for the whole match. And I was fine with it. Even the end sequence paid that due off. I mean, it paid off for all that they were doing in the match. And so it's sad that the Authors of Pain lost, but I understand it. And so for me, it wasn't like one of the greatest matches on the card, but it was serviceable. I felt like the leg bit was good and it paid off well. But otherwise, it was a relatively solid start. What about you?
Yeah, I agree pretty much. Almost uniformly. Yeah, it was nothing like outstanding. Very enjoyable though. It was decent. Was a nice start to the show. Yeah, it was. It was just a good way to kind of build to the crescendo. That happened throughout the night. So yeah, I agree. It was just good, and it had some good stuff that happened in it.
Awesome. All right. Well, the second match had no real build to it. Apparently, it was Cassius Ohno versus Velveteen Dream. Caleb, what were your thoughts about this match?
I thought it was pretty good. Got to showcase Velveteen Dream. His elbow drop is pretty good. Not nearly as good as Kairi Sane's, but still pretty good. Yeah, very hard hitting. That's something I enjoyed. Was like every so often, they'd like throw a forearm or do an elbow or punch or a kick, and it just had some sound on it, and they did a great job and stuff. And man, one of my favorite bits was towards the beginning where his Velveteen Dream was like, "Oh, I'm gonna knock him out in 30 seconds or less," and then he gets a good shot and knocks him down, and then he's celebrating that he doesn't cover him, and then Cassius Ohno gets back up after a little bit, and then just clobbers him with like I think it was like a forearm smash or something like that. He just clobbered him and stuff, and that was funny. And he like dropped his mouthpiece. I thought that was funny. So yeah, I thought it was good. It like I said, it was really hard hitting, and I enjoy that. And so yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty decent.
It was super clunky.
Yeah, that it was.
And I'm not going to blame Velveteen Dream like everybody else is. What I'm going to blame is Cassius Ohno is a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of the spots they were trying to do with Velveteen Dream, picking Cassius up, it's hard to do. I mean, he's a big guy, and so for that, and it's neither their fault really. It's not Cassius' fault. He's a big guy, just the way it is. That being said, I thought it was really entertaining for the most part. I loved the first 25 seconds of this match. I loved that the crowd was so into the stuff that Velveteen Dream said at the end. and they went ahead and played in it. I don't know if that was what was meant to happen in the beginning or whatnot, but I loved it. At the count of 25, at 25, knocks Cassius out, and I love the fact that he's so into that. What he's basically so into himself because he's like, I'm gonna knock him out within 30 seconds. And he knocks him out, and he gets up, and he just starts dancing around. I beat him. I beat him. Count him out. 1, 2. I mean, he was just. It was that Rocky moment. It's Philadelphia, and so that was really funny and fun to watch. And so that was the best thing about the whole match was that. And you're right. Velveteen Dream does have a heck of an elbow. I think if Cassius was a little bit further in, I've seen his elbow before, and it looks similar to Kyrie. I think he's taken some of what Kyrie's done with the elbow and put it into him. But since Cassius was way across the ring, you couldn't get that snap that Kyrie does at the end there. But otherwise, they put Velveteen Dream over. That's fine. Sad for Cassius. I think he's a lot more talented than what they're doing with him, but that's fine. And I'm sad I didn't get to see him in Royal Rumble too. So that's just me. But I like what they did with the Royal Rumble NXT call-ups, or not call-ups, but spots. So that's what I think about that match.
Okay.
All right. Next match is Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler. Caleb, what are your thoughts?
I thought this match was good. Relatively short. It didn't feel this short watching it. So that's weird. That's good that when a match is relatively short, but it feels like it's not super short. I wish they could have done a little more in it. But for the most part, I liked it. There were some kind of, weird spots. There were some kind of spots where, there were some spots that kind of lulled and dragged on, and there were some spots that were kind of, not quite put together as well as they should have been. But for the most part, I liked it. It had good psychology with hurting Ember's arm, and the way she ended up turning the armbar against Shayna Baszler to put her in the to like roll her up, and win like that. I thought that was pretty. But one of my favorite things was the way Shayna Baszler sold the Eclipse. When Ember did the Eclipse, and I'm glad that they kept the arm in play there. It wasn't like, oh, you do your finisher, but it doesn't matter because you're so jazzed up. It's like, no, it would still hurt like I'll get out. So yeah. I like that they still played on that. But yeah, the way she sold it, the way she like went all the way up perfectly, like ramrod stiff, like standing up, and then just like fell backwards was great.
Stayed there the whole time.
Yeah, she just went up, kind of lulled there for a couple seconds, and then just fell backwards. Like that was the way she sold that was great, and yeah, it was. I really really enjoyed it. Like I said, it did have some problems and stuff with it, but like I was dreading it because I heard you talk about that Shayna Baszler's pretty green still, and so I was just like, man, I hope this isn't that bad. But I was pleasantly surprised by it. I enjoyed it. I think that Shayna Baszler can get a lot better, and I'm sure she will get a lot better. And Ember Moon's probably ready to come up anytime. So, we'll get to that later. But yeah, she's still the champion. She deserves to have a pretty respectable reign with it before she, before she comes up. Maybe she'll come up after Mania. Who knows? I think that'd be a pretty decent amount of time for her to hold the belt and then come up. So
lose it to someone at TakeOver.
Yeah, I think her and Kairi Sane would be an insane match. I think that would be wicked. I think Kairi needs to win it from her, and I think that'd be a great send off for Ember to put it on. A match that would probably be awesome with Kairi Sane and stuff. But yeah, because I want Ember Moon on SmackDown because I want her and Charlotte, her and Naomi, her and Becky, just so many different ways. But anyways, what did you think of this match?
The more I think about this match, the more I enjoyed it. And the reason why, and the more, actually, what happened with Ember in the Royal Rumble made me enjoy it even more. Because she sold her injury in Royal Rumble, which I was ecstatic to see. That injury is more, I think it's going to play in a key into a lot of stuff that's going to happen with Ember next. So I think that'll be great to watch. As far as the match goes, I like, Ember had chased the belt for a long time, and now that she has it, she doesn't want to give it up, and so I can understand why people are like, well, that finish was really dumb. She's been in the armbar for so long. Why didn't she tap? She didn't tap because she wanted the belt. She wants the belt. She wants to keep the belt. That's why she was in the Royal Rumble. She wanted to make herself known. She wanted to be. Listen, even with my arm messed up, I'm going to go in and I'm going to ramrod through the Royal Rumble. And so I really like what they did with her this whole weekend. She didn't tap because it's her belt. She doesn't want to lose it. And I like what was said afterwards. I like Shayna after the match. You can find it on YouTube where she's like, "Did Ember really win? I beat her up. Did you see her out there? Like, did Ember really win?" And Triple H said some comments, similar comments later in his interview with Kathy Kelly. Um, but it was a good match, and it's something to set up Shayna. I really hope that they build Shayna like I told you this last night, like Chris Benoit, he who should remain nameless. Um, she just has that aura around her. She looks like she could be a workhorse like Benoit. Don't take her to the extreme like Benoit, but build her as this crippling woman who will just destroy everything. May lose, and I think that's how they need to build Ronda as well. But she may lose, but she's going to take you out no matter what. And so I didn't hate her as much this match. Um, they need to add something to her. I love her off camera. I love her on camera, out of the ring. Like she's good on the mic. Keep her doing that kind of stuff. And so for me, it was a good match, and I really like I said, I really like what they do with Ember and just wanting to keep the title. So that's what I think.
Okay. So now we move on to Aleister Black versus Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match. Jeremy, what were your thoughts of this match?
I think you said it. If the last match didn't happen, this would have been the match of the night. These guys pulled out all the stops. They did really good. I liked Aleister basically coming in and saying, "I don't need weapons. I am the weapon." I liked him throwing away most of the weapons he had. There was a couple times he used it. But that was mostly like the chair shot was because it was set up for him. Why not use it? I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, why'd they take that spot?" I'm like, it looked like it hurt, but it looked safe too. So anyway, that's just my thought. But I like how Adam Cole sold that. I didn't even think about that. That's the reason why he was bandaged. I like how he sold that in the Rumble too. They did a really good job with that this weekend. Yeah, great match, great spots. Aleister absolutely deserved to beat Adam Cole. He's a monster. They need to build him super strong on the main roster and not peter out this guy who's incredible in the ring.
Yeah.
I thought for me when he came into the league and when he was Tommy End and fought Neville, I thought that was an okay match, but just nothing great. But when he became Aleister Black and came into NXT and just blew everybody away, dude's a star. Dude's a star. So anyway, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, they need to book him sort of Goldberg-esque.
Yeah. Similar.
You know, do something kind of like that. Yeah, I loved this match. Like, yeah, if the main event didn't happen, this totally would be like, yeah, this is the silver medal, which is nothing to be ashamed of, man. This match was awesome. You're absolutely right. They did pull out all the stops. The part where Aleister tried to do the moonsault, he did try to do the springboard moonsault, and then Adam Cole hit him in the stomach with the kendo stick. That was a good spot. Yeah, when he does the Death Valley driver onto the chairs when he like turns them and then dropped him on yeah, I bet that actually did hurt, that had to hurt a little, like, for sure, and that was a great spot. And then I like where he picks up the kendo stick and then he just throws it out, and then Adam Cole runs at Aleister Black, and then Black just knocks it away and then just starts clobbering him with elbows and stuff. And yeah, they really played up his like you say, him saying, I don't need a weapon because I am one. Like, they really played that up with him, doing all the kicks and the punches and the elbows and stuff. Like, they really played that up well. And, I really, really enjoyed it. And, yeah, this match was awesome. Like, the table spot, like where he did the Van Dam Terminator, the chair, and then Aleister Black fell backwards into the table. That was good. Looked like it hurt. I think he, like, cut his back a little or scraped it or something like that on him. That was great. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. But yeah, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was just so cool to see. It's probably one I'll go back and take another look at. It's definitely worth it. It was really really cool. I enjoyed it.
Right on. All right, the main event of the night: Andrade Cien Almas uh, with Zelina Vega versus Johnny Gargano. Caleb, what were your thoughts?
This is one of the greatest wrestling matches I have ever seen in my life.
Absolutely.
It's just yeah, Gargano, he is Johnny freaking wrestling,
Yep.
and Andrade Cien Almas is silencing critics and doubters and showing why he has the belt. He was a dance partner in this too. This wasn't just
Mm-hmm.
all Johnny Gargano. So if anybody says that, they're just being ridiculous because it takes two to tango, and this was a glorious tango of pure athletic splendor. Yeah, just amazing. So many great spots. All the near falls. All of the times Zelina got involved, and then finally when Candice jumped the barricade, I was sitting there like, man, I hope Candice jumps the barricade and just wrecks Zelina Vega. And like 5 minutes later, she did, and I was
Mm-hmm.
so happy. And then like chased her out. That was fun. Just like there's so many great spots, like the one where they kept like at the same exact time they would like clothesline each other, and then they slapped each other, and then they
Mm-hmm.
kicked each other, then they both fell down. Like that whole sequence was great. Just everything about this match was great. You know, this was better than the Okada Omega trilogy. This was better than the Cena versus Styles match from last year that I loved. This is so much better than so many wrestling matches I've seen. It's one of the best I've ever seen. I still reserve the best I've ever seen for another one. I still think the other one, my favorite one, is a little better, but this one is one of the all-time greatest matches I've ever seen. It was absolutely amazing. What about you?
Yeah, this might be my favorite match of all time. Johnny Gargano. I know I've said before, AJ Styles is my favorite wrestler of all time. Johnny Gargano is a close second. The dude is amazing, and like you said, almost is nothing to sneeze about. This guy comes from a stock of wrestlers. Even though lucha isn't necessarily over in the United States, he comes from that style. I think he needs to be given his due, and with this match and his Royal Rumble appearance, I think this has catapulted him into talks for a good push on the main roster. I think the problem people had with him is he didn't really have a character. He had a character, but it wasn't something that everybody was clinging on to.
Mm.
And so when they put him with Zelina Vega, that caused his character to be different. Zelina is the mouthpiece. He doesn't have to be the mouthpiece, and when he is the mouthpiece, he can be that suave, arrogant Mexican wrestler who will only speak Spanish, uh, and it's brilliant. It's just Vega being the mouth. It's great. His package is really really good. This match told a beautiful story. Johnny Gargano, his performance as the underdog babyface that everybody loves and endears and just wants to just be friends with.
Mm-hmm.
His everything he did in this match was brilliant. Everything Almas did in this match was brilliant. And once they showed Candice in the back, like after the first match or whenever they showed him, I was like, I really hope they get her involved. And I forgot Zelina was going to be out there. I was like, when Zelina comes out, I was like, she better get involved. And if she doesn't, I'm going to be very, very, very sad. And then she did, and it was just perfect. Um, yeah, it's the story and everything was great. Every spot that they did, every counter to counter to counter to counter to counter thing that they did was brilliant. I thought this match was an hour long.
Yeah.
The way it felt, and I was fine with that. It wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad thing. I just thought this match was going on forever, and I was fine with it. They could have gone a whole
I
hour.
wanted it to go on forever. I was just like, man, this match is taking forever. I want it to go on forever.
It was only a little over 32 minutes, and I'm just like,
I felt like it was 49 minutes long.
it did. And I was, like I said, I was fine with that. This match was brilliant. This is a match I could probably watch every year and just awe at how beautiful it was. And Johnny Gargano is one of the best wrestlers in the world. I hope, I don't think it will happen, but I hope that he and Ricochet are able to share the ring while he's in NXT. And I say that because I think when Gargano goes up to the main roster, If Vince is still um, the CEO by that time, I think things will go downhill for Gargano, which is sad. He's shining in NXT. Ricochet is going to be massive in NXT. Anyway, that match would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
However, Gargano versus Ciampa could possibly be my favorite match ever when that happens. Like, those two guys had one of the greatest matches at the CWC. I'm ecstatic for what happened at the end. I'm ecstatic to see Gargano give Ciampa his comeuppance. That feud is going to be amazing. So
yeah,
all it was beautiful. I loved it all.
Indeed. So to close out NXT Takeover Philadelphia, letter grade.
A+. A. I want to say A+. I want to.
Just go ahead.
A+.
Okay. Yeah, I give it an A+ as well. I didn't have a problem with anything that happened. I liked everything that happened. It was a lot of fun. Good time. A+ from the both of us. So now we move on to the big show right here. Not that one.
It's the big show.
It's a big bad show tonight. Oh yeah. Anyway. So talk about the pre-show matches real quick because we did actually watch the pre-show. First, we had the 6-man tag match. It was cruiserweights, Kalisto, Gran Metalik, Lince Dorado versus TJP, Gentleman Jack Gallagher, and Drew Gulak. Jeremy, we had a lot of fun watching this first match.
Yeah, the last couple minutes were really good. It's just kind of a throw-in match to show, hey, we still have cruiserweights. They worked well together. And it was 13 minutes. I didn't realize that. It was fine. It was good. The masked wrestlers are some of the best wrestlers in the world. TJP, I think they need to keep this character on him. He just is kind of bland as a babyface.
Yeah.
This kind of spoiled kid type thing, I think will work with him. Sad that because Jack Gallagher was in not a program with, but he was in cahoots with Brian Kendrick, and so now that he's hurt, it's kind of sad seeing Gallagher by himself.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Gallagher Kendrick stuff. And Drew Gulak, now that the Zo Train, I'm assuming, is no more.
Yeah.
I haven't watched 205 Live in a bit, but I'm assuming that is no more. It's sad to see that because I think he really shined in that place. I hope they can even pull it together where he's the leader of the Zo Train. He calls it something else.
Yeah.
But these are some of the most talented wrestlers in the world, and it's sad that a lot of things are plaguing the cruiserweight title, the cruiserweight division. WWE should do something different, but they won't. Anyway, some of the best wrestlers in the world, and they're just being underutilized.
Yeah. Yeah, this match was a lot of fun. Gran Metalik, we both agreed, absolutely shined in this, and was awesome. And probably my favorite thing was when Gallagher went up on the second rope and was walking and was gonna jump. And Gulak was like, no, we don't fly. No, don't do it. No, it's dangerous. He goes, it's fine.
It's gonna be fine.
And then he tries to do the diving headbutt, and then he just face plants. And then he looks up holding his nose. He's like, you were right. Yeah. That killed me. That was funny. So, yeah, this match was good. It's definitely worth checking out at least once. So.
Yeah, especially the last maybe 5 minutes of that is pretty fun. All right, the next match on the pre-show is the Revival versus Gallows and Anderson from the Club. Caleb, what were your thoughts about the match?
I'm just glad the Revival won.
Yep. That's all I'm going to say.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, I'm glad they got the win on that.
So now we go to the glorious one, Bobby Roode versus Mojo Rawley, the man who probably freebases PCP backstage. In a singles match
Sad but true.
For the WWE United States Championship. Jeremy, what'd you think?
Bobby did the whole... this is the challenge, the United States Open Challenge, which I think they need to keep with that title. I think that's really fun to do. Mojo comes out and loses. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Is that Mojo loses. Not that there's anything bad about Mojo, but they just need to build him better. And they haven't. I hate his song.
Yeah.
I hate his theme. I hate his packaging. But Bobby Roode wins, and that's all that really matters.
Yep.
The only thing I'm sad about is they didn't like Dolph just dropped the belt, and then he comes back 30 in the Royal Rumble, and it's like they totally flubbed all of that.
Yeah.
But we'll find out what happens on Tuesday if anything.
Yeah. For sure.
Did you have any thought?
No, that was all.
Okay. All right. My turn.
Yep.
Okay. All right. First match of the actual Royal Rumble, not the pre-show, kickoff, whatever. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a handicap match for the WWE Championship. Caleb, what'd you think about this almost 16-minute match?
I know. It was pretty enjoyable. I really liked watching it. Had some good spots. The Blue Thunder Bomb that Sammy did in this match, looked really really good. The phenomenal forearm that AJ did to Sammy later in the match was awesome. It always looks like he always finds a way to make it look extra, and that was really well done, and it's a lot of good suspense in the ring. You didn't know what was going to happen and stuff. That was good. Nothing like too like awe inspiring, but it was fun. I loved Sammy and Kevin tagging in and tagging back out, tagging in, tagging back out. That was
fun.
That was really funny. So yeah, it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. It was what I thought it would be. So it was pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't hate the match. My biggest issue with it is they built the whole Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan thing into it, and they weren't involved in any way. And I think that's my biggest pet peeve about this match, is that they were so ingrained into this match and this storyline that nothing came about. I was waiting for it at the end of everything. I'm assuming something's gonna happen on Tuesday, because at the end, when they kind of almost tagged and they didn't tag, I'm hoping that plays a part in Tuesday, where Daniel Bryan is like, we reviewed the match. You never tagged. We're gonna do this match tonight. I think that would be beneficial for them to do to redo it. And I think obviously this is a setup to break up Kevin and Sammy because of what happens later in the Royal Rumble after they beat up Ty Dillinger. Sammy's like, no, I'll go do it, and there's reasons why that happened, because Kevin's got a back issue or something. But it wasn't a bad match. I was hoping for Daniel Bryan. I was hoping for Shane to get involved. But again, I should have said this before. I think one of the biggest problems with reviewing WWE stuff is that we get ourselves so hyped up for the possibilities. And Royal Rumble is probably that one event that we get ourselves so hyped up. Oh, this person could be in the Rumble. This person could be in the Rumble. And when they're not in the Rumble, we're like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
This match deserves better praise because it was good. But I'm just sad that the rest of the story wasn't being told in this match. And so, anyway, those were my thoughts. It wasn't a horrible match. I just wanted more of the story to come out.
Yeah. Okay. So now we move on to the Usos versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. 2 out of 3 falls tag match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Jeremy, what'd you think of this match?
Although it wasn't a bad match, I hated it. It was a good match. I like Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, but they did not deserve a 2-0 match.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be a 2 out of 3 falls. It was a 2 Uso match. It was a 2 fall Uso win. I want more. I want more from this match on Tuesday. I want something to come about.
They probably had to cut it, I'm assuming.
Probably. You're probably absolutely right. Chad and Shelton Benjamin, they're screwing these guys over. Chad is such a great wrestler, so talented, and they're pushing the wrong American Alpha. They really are. He should have been the one push, not Jason Jordan. Anyway, what were your thoughts about it?
For what it was, I liked it. There was a lot of good stuff in it, but yeah, it does feel like they had to pull the curtain out from under him and be like, "Hey, sorry, wrap it up. We need time." So that's the only bad thing about it for me. Was that it ended so abruptly and the way it ended. Like, like I would have loved to seen Gable and Benjamin win, but hopefully that they will win it, like on Tuesday or at the next pay-per-view or something. So who knows? But yeah, that did really hinder it. Um the thing.
The match.
The abrupt ending.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
the abrupt ending just really kind of
I'm fine with the Usos having
halted.
the title, but it
Yeah,
was just weird.
yeah, just the way it ended. Like if they could have, yeah, if they could have just added on an extra 5 minutes and squeezed 2 falls in there, so
Yeah.
Benjamin and Gable could get one, and then like at the very last of that 5 minutes, have the Usos get like something. Like it just needed like an extra 5 minutes. I'm sure they could have built something in an extra 5 minutes that would have helped it. So
All right, moving on to the men's Royal Rumble match for a World Championship match at WrestleMania 34. We'll see if that's the main event.
yeah,
They need to stop saying main eventing WrestleMania. They just should say
it gets a title match.
what the Wikipedia page says for a World Championship match at WrestleMania 34, not necessarily to main event WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They need to drop that altogether.
Yeah.
Thanks, Randy Orton, for pointing that out. Beautiful video. Beautiful.
Yes.
Dude.
Vintage, cocky, arrogant, fun, legend killer Randy Orton.
He knows his place in the company. He knows he's not going anywhere anytime soon. So thank you for being honest.
Yeah, that was funny.
All right, Caleb, your thoughts about the match?
This is one of the best Royal Rumbles in a really long time. I really enjoyed this match. So many. Obviously, my favorite thing, because I was marking out hardcore last night, I'll be the first to admit it, was Rey Mysterio returning. He does not have a contract to return as of yet. So, who knows, if he'll show up on Raw or SmackDown. He was back for the Rumble, and dude, he just got an enormous pop. Like, everybody went nuts when he came out. Like, when that 619, everybody went nuts, and then he came out, and like, even Michael Cole was like, oh my gosh, like, it's Rey Mysterio. Yeah. Apparently, that was kept secret from so many people within the company.
I'm sure.
Apparently that was like one of the biggest kept secrets from the weekend, second only to Rousey. So many people like didn't know that he was gonna be there, and so that was so awesome that he was there. That was the biggest thing for me. That was the biggest plus for me. That made everything, else that we may have had nitpicks with for me just go away, because I was like, Rey Mysterio's here. I don't care what else happens. Like, that was so cool, and I totally called my shot on that. Like, I don't like to toot my own horn. Like, I don't want to sound braggadocious, but yeah, I totally called my shot on that. So yeah, that was cool. That was my favorite thing was Rey, and he did the double 619 to Cena and Reigns, which the crowd loved and stuff. Yeah, so that was great to have him. And so many people shine. Finn Balor being number 2 and lasting till the final 4.
Thank you, WWE, for giving him the proper
a good showing in the Rumble. Yeah, like, you're absolutely right. He deserved that. He did a good showing with it.
He did.
Getting heat on Cena for eliminating him, so that was very interesting. Yeah, Dolph Ziggler coming in at 30 was funny.
It was funny, but wasted.
But it was wasted. If he came in at 29 and then somebody bigger came in at 30, like, if they saved Rey Mysterio till 30, maybe.
I don't know,
but
because a lot of people hated him at 30 the last time he was 30. Not everybody, but a lot of people did.
Excuse me, but so yeah, that was it was funny, but yeah, it was wasted, like you said. And what else? Oh yeah, the when we had the final 6, when we had Randy, Cena, and Rey looking across at Reigns, Shinsuke, and Balor, that was awesome. That was so cool. Everybody started chanting yes, 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 and then somebody on Twitter I saw put, "Wow, it's 2006 versus 2018." Like, and I'm like, yeah, that is completely accurate what you just said. Yeah, that was really cool. And then they all just like, I just love how they were just staring daggers at each other, and then they just started going after. And I liked Rey going after Reigns, like, during that, how he just didn't care. He just went after Roman and stuff. That was cool. Yeah, there were so many great spots. Kofi's spot, the way having his foot on the pancakes, I liked that. That was fun. And Naomi kind of taking a page out of his book later on was great.
She did well. She did good.
But yeah, Shinsuke, I'm so glad that he won. It's glad, they did it last year with Reigns. They totally swerved us like, oh great, Reigns is here, he's gonna win because he's Roman Reigns, blah 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 blah, all that stuff. But then Randy won, and then this year they did the exact same thing, and Shinsuke won, and people just went absolutely nuts. And so yeah, I'm so glad that Shinsuke won. He absolutely deserves it. I can't wait for him and AJ. Yeah, that's just gonna be amazing. And so yeah, I absolutely loved this Royal Rumble. It was one of the best in a really long time.
Yep, I would agree. It was super entertaining. I love what they did with Heath.
Yes.
I loved Elias. I loved that they cleared the ring for Elias to come in and do what he did. I loved what they did with the NXT guys. Almost had a great showing. Cole had a great showing. I love that Cole was wrapped in the body wrap to remind us that he wrestled and was pretty not hurt, but he was could have been more hurt the night before with that injury. I loved the Hurricane coming and getting thrown out pretty quick. I loved that whole chokeslam thing. That was a possible chokeslam thing. That was brilliant. Can't see me. It was fun to watch. It was one of the most entertaining matches WWE has put on outside of obviously takeovers, but it was really good. It was really fun to watch. It's one of those matches I would go back and watch. I'm glad they did what they did, even though they did the same thing they did last year, like you said, with Roman Reigns. Even though they did the same thing last year with Roman Reigns, it still was as you better not put Roman Reigns, like just yelling at the screen, even though we like Roman, you better not put Roman Reigns over Shinsuke. You better not do that.
I mean, yeah, because we are like, we both really like Roman Reigns, but we're like, this isn't the right way to build the story with Brock.
Nope.
So
no, the Elimination Chamber will be that match will be awesome. That'll be fun to watch. I hope. We're assuming that it's going to be a number one contendership match.
Yeah,
it just makes
we're just
sense.
assuming. Yeah, we're just assuming right
now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that the pancake spot, the first on Woods and then on the pancakes, that spot was great. Him hopping on one foot, it's like I watched a commentator or somebody on YouTube saying why haven't they done that before? Just hopping on one foot, it doesn't make sense. Kofi was great in this match, and him being tossed over by his teammates.
That was good.
Just every bit of it was fun to watch. There wasn't anything. I mean, like I said before, you get your hopes up for people that you want to be in the Royal Rumble, but when you step back after all that disappointment is gone, you step back and you're like, they used the right NXT people for what they used him for. They put the men's champion, which they needed to do, and they put probably, if not the next men's champion, one they're going to build on soon. Absolutely. And they did the same thing with the women. They put the NXT women's champion and the one who they want to be NXT champion quite soon. Brilliant booking. Like there wasn't anything in the matches I was just like, are you serious? I mean, legitimately, are you serious? Why would they do that? Unlike a couple years, last year was a little different, but anyway, it was a great match, wonderful, fun.
Yeah. Just real quick to last question and before we move on, Cena, Reigns, Orton. Cena, Reigns, Balor, Shinsuke. Best Final Four ever, in my opinion, for a Rumble.
Yeah, not bad. It was like I said, it was well booked, and you're right. It just that foresight to say the number 2 guy, Finn, is going to last the whole thing, which is kind of a fan service, if you will, but also saying, okay, we respect you. We're going to make you go in there for a long time and all that stuff. You're right. It was one. If not the best, it was one of the best Final Four. In a long time.
And I liked last night when he went backstage. He got on Twitter and just put 58-27. The time he lasted in.
Oh,
the ring. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool.
Yeah, and that match lasted an hour and 5 minutes. Hour and 5
and a half minutes.
That's hard to say. All right, moving on. Is it your turn? My turn.
Yes, it's my turn.
Okay.
So we have Cesaro and Sheamus versus Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Jeremy, what'd you think?
I'm fine with Cesaro and Sheamus winning. I know what they're building to. They're building to Rollins and Jordan at WrestleMania. Fine. They're starting the cracks in that. Okay, fine. I think the part of it is the crowd hates Jason Jordan. I like what Jason Jordan did. I thought that was funny. He's knocked out. He's going to be knocked out forever. I like the bit with him coming in, him tagging himself in, getting in, and realizing I'm still too busy, and then tagging himself out. That was funny. I think I would be okay with this match after tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's more to pay off, and so a majority of these matches, outside of the next match, I don't think that was a story match at all, really, outside of making Brock look huge. The Cesaro and Sheamus match, every match on here is pretty much a storytelling match for WrestleMania, and that's what we need to remember when we watch these matches.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, initially I was kind of like, Cesaro and Sheamus are amazing. I love them. It's awesome that they have the belts. Like, I have no problem with them winning, but yeah, just initially, like, the way the match went, I was just like, I don't know. I'm still kind of iffy. Like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, until I found out where it's going, this match is not good, but it's not bad. It just is. But yeah, so hearing you say, like, I'm waiting, I think I'll like it after tonight. That's a good point. So yeah, I'm gonna wait to reserve my full judgment of, because yeah, if it is just a straight up storyline thing, then okay, then I can't give it too much fault. So
yeah, and I don't know. I would assume that Rollins and Jordan won't win the belts back. I assume that mostly because I don't know how they're going to do the breakup, the thing to get them to that. And so if they don't win them back, I want to know who is next in line against Cesaro and Sheamus. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, I want to know more about that. I don't think they should break. People are like, oh, this is the right time to break up Cesaro and Sheamus. I don't want them to break up for a bit.
yeah,
I want them. What they need to do is establish the tag team division of Raw,
mm-hmm.
kind of like they did with SmackDown. But until they do that, Cesaro and Sheamus are a great tag team. They work well together. People like them / hate them. They're doing their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Keep them, at the forefront until you get a solid tag team division. That's all I want to say more about.
All right, cool. All right, it's your turn, I think.
Oh yeah. Then we have the Universal Championship match, which was not the last match, which was great to see. Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman versus Kane. Caleb, your thoughts?
This match was fun. A little too short for me. It could have gone a little bit longer, but like you and me, it's funny because we were talking about Godzilla and King Kong during this match, and like during the match, I was just like, oh, this basically is a Godzilla King Kong, destroy all monsters type of kaiju movie of a match, and it was fun. A lot of devastation, a lot of hard hitting big moves. It was fun. That's the best way for me to describe it. It was a fun Godzilla versus King Kong, big monster-esque kind of way. I enjoyed it. Nothing spectacular. It wasn't like, the Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam, which was wicked.
Yep.
Which I actually need to go back and watch again because that match was awesome. It wasn't quite that level of excitement and like, fast-paced action and like, whoa, like, but it was close enough for me that I enjoyed it. I'm glad I saw it. It's like it was good for what it was. It was just a good showing to make Brock, look, like you said, look huge for Mania and stuff. And so yeah, I enjoyed it. Gets solid 3.5 stars out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3-star. It wasn't horrible. It was solid. Did its job. You're right. It wasn't anything like the Fatal 4-Way or even the. Yeah, it just. This wasn't the best. I mean, it was technically a hardcore match. It wasn't the best hardcore match of the weekend, obviously, but yeah, it was serviceable, fine. The spots were good, were relatively good. The only problem is it was predictable. Everybody predicted that Kane was going to eat the win for Braun, for Braun's sake, anyway. I wonder where they're going after this. Are they going to actually do a Braun versus Brock match, which I don't really want to see, mostly because I want to keep Braun strong. When Roman wins the Universal title, then bring Braun back in
Yeah.
and make that be the thing. And they could even, I mean, they could even make it to, because it kind of seems similar to the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior, like when Hulk was champion, and I think that happened, right? Or am I just making that up? Hulk was WWE champion or WWF champion, and then
Ultimate Warrior's Intercontinental
champion at the time.
Yeah.
Didn't that happen? Or
yeah, that happened.
It kind of seems like they're building that same story with Roman, Ultimate Universal champion versus, I think Brock might win the Intercontinental title. That kind of would be a fun thing to see, but yeah, serviceable match. Okay.
All right, so now we move on to the main event, which we were both happy with was the main event. You know,
Yep.
Totally cool that they did this. And a history-making event, the first ever women's Royal Rumble match. 30 women. They didn't, you know, they did have to call in some legends to fill the gaps and stuff, but still they got it to 30. Awesome. Jeremy, what did you think of the first women's Royal Rumble match?
About time. That was the
Yeah.
sign in the stands, but it was about time. I've been clamoring for this kind of thing for a long time.
I think over a year ago, you and I on the podcast were saying they should do a women's Royal Rumble match. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've been wanting for a long time. I know it makes sense now. They have a lot of women in both divisions, and I was looking for a lot more NXT call-ups, but I'm glad they did what they did. Even though somebody could look at this match and think, oh, this is just a nostalgia match. Look at all these nostalgia things. Here's the thing. Almost every one of the quote-unquote nostalgia pieces that were in there did a fairly good job. Molly Holly looked wonderful. She looked better than I thought she would. Not physically, but in the ring. A lot of these ladies haven't been in the ring for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And Trish did better than I thought she would.
Trish did amazing.
Yeah, she did a really good job. Excuse me. Good spots. Possible heel turn with Sasha. I mean, she looked sadistic towards the end there. She won. She had the Bell Twins on her side. I thought there's something there. So many different storylines that could happen. I mean, she eliminated Bayley. Just a lot of fun things happened in this match. Like you said, Naomi did the Kofi spot. And some people could be like, well, she did the Kofi spot. That's Kofi's thing. She did well.
Mm-hmm.
She did a very good job. I enjoyed it. I'm trying to think. Like I said, there were a couple of nostalgia acts that probably should have been eliminated faster. I think even though Kelly was one of your favorites, I didn't think she did it as good a job as she could.
No, she didn't.
And so, what was the other one?
Michelle McCool was really bad. She was really stiff.
Stiff and just weird. And she's just super skinny, and I don't get that. There was one other that I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, it was a good match. The right person won.
Mm-hmm.
And the end of it, I really hope they pull the trigger on the Asuka versus everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. I said I don't know if they're gonna do it, but I said last night. I said, wouldn't it be cool if both champions faced Asuka and whichever one won? That would be really cool. I don't know the logistics behind it, but I think that would be awesome if Asuka faced both champions. It would build Asuka to be this tremendous talent. She's just like, you know what? Nobody's ready for me, so I'm just gonna take both titles.
That's what I was hoping she would do. I was hoping she would grab both titles and go, nobody's ready for Asuka.
Yeah, and then the botched kind of entrance of Ronda, she kind of, when it came in way too late, because they were just standing there. And the music hit, nobody was coming out, they didn't pan to it until like super late, then they panned to it, it was Ronda Rousey, oh, that's really cool, and then they panned back, she wasn't there yet. I don't know if she wasn't at the right place or whatever.
Kevin Dunn and his massive teeth.
Yeah.
Probably messed up.
Something was messed up. With that being said, it was still clunky at the end with her coming out and just pointing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the What Culture guys said, she was pointing. At least she'd watched the Rumble before, and so it's like, yeah, that's all she did. She came out and pointed. My problem with the pointing was she looked like a model doing it.
Yeah. She looks like she was posing for something.
For a magazine, and technically she was posing for pictures for WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but stop it. Like, come out there. She was actually, and I didn't know this until I was reading an article. The jacket she had on was actually Roddy Piper's jacket.
Really?
Yeah. Like, her
that's
son
cool.
gave it to her.
Oh, wow.
And so she came out with Roddy's jacket, For crying out loud, act like Roddy Piper. If
Mm-hmm.
you're going to come out here with the legacy of Roddy Piper on you, come out as a lunatic. Come out as a guy who's unshoveled. You are coming in as an underdog. You come in acting like you run the place. Come out there and just start yelling at them. Just do something.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't. She pointed at the sign. She probably did what she was told. So don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She was told wrong. She should have done something different. She comes out, points at the sign for like 100 minutes. Then she gets out of the ring, shakes Stephanie's hand, and then walks away. And it's like she keeps pointing at the sign. We get it. It's WrestleMania season.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's how I feel about Ronda Rousey.
They should have thrown her.
She's not bad, but
yeah, they should have thrown her the mic, and she should have said what she said to Stephanie McMahon 3 years ago at WrestleMania. She should have walked up to them and said, "Every ring I stand in is mine." Dropped the mic, walked out. Just something like that.
Yep.
Like, should have done something other than just point. Yeah, it was really clunky and weird. And yeah, it looked like she was pointing in a way where she was like posing for a WWE poster or something.
Don't get me wrong. She's gorgeous, and she was gorgeous pointing.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to see her in the ring. I want to see her just devastate people. And she comes in to the 3 biggest women wrestlers. There's nobody bigger than those 3 in the ring right now, especially Asuka. Love what Asuka did. Slapping her hand out of the way.
Her hand, yeah.
Oh, beautiful. I want to see that match sometime. And I want to see Asuka devastate Ronda. Really do. But for crying out loud, WWE, you screwed this up.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were your thoughts about the match? And
now, just curtailing off of that, and then I'll go back to the match. Yeah, it was weird. It was. I'm glad she's here. Like, I think it'll be sort of, like I said, like they kind of want to do with Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler. It's like it seems like they kind of want to do a female Ken Shamrock thing, which is cool. That's fine. But yeah, like I'm just kind of wondering how they're gonna book her, what they're gonna do. Like, are they gonna push her too hard, too fast? Like. And yeah, it was very clunky, her coming out and pointing and stuff. It was very awkward and clunky and weird, and hopefully, like Ronda's not a bad trash talker, like for real, like back, in UFC. She was not a bad trash talker at all. So I hope that, that'll translate into, being good on the stick and stuff like that in here, hopefully. Like, I'm sure she is, like, has been training at the Performance Center. I'm sure she's been taking promo classes and stuff, too. Yeah. I'm sure she hasn't been like, oh, no, I don't need to take promo classes. I'm good at trash talking. Like, I'm sure that they're probably like, oh, why don't you just, do it anyway. Just, everybody else does it. You should do it, too. So, yeah, that's my thought on that. It was very clunky and odd and weird. But I'm glad she's here, and I can't wait to see what they do. And then, yeah, the match itself, I loved. It was awesome. For first Women's Royal Rumble match, it was a good, it was a good outing. They did a really good job. Kelly coming back, Molly Holly coming back. She looked, yeah, you're absolutely right. She looked awesome. Like,
I liked her better with the blonde hair, but that's just
yeah, she came back with Lita. She was awesome.
She did well.
She did a really good job coming back, and the way she was able to do she was able to still do the moonsault and stuff like that, and she did a double one, which was awesome, and that was really cool. And but yeah, when Trish came out at number 30, that was amazing, and she looks good. My gosh, she's still gorgeous.
Super skinny though. I like when she had some meat on her bones.
I still think she's amazing, but and yeah, so when her and Mickey had their face off, that was really good. I like that. That was kind of fun how they were playing off their rivalry from back in the day. Like that was fun. And yeah, man, Trish showed she's been retired for 12 years, like almost 12 years, but man, she still has it. She can still go.
Does.
Lita, she can still go too. So that was cool to see, like, that they can both still go. And like, it's neat that they called back, Kelly and Lita and Trish, especially to come back and be a part of history. And I know some people are like, oh, they're just doing this for nostalgia. Well, it's like, the women's division, even though it's stacked, they didn't have enough to fill the 30, so they want to end.
They did with NXT, but they decided not to use this money.
Yeah, they probably didn't want to use like a ton of NXT people. But yeah, Ember Moon coming in was awesome. That was one of my favorite things. Her and Asuka's face off was cool, and she did the eclipse and stuff, and then they did play up the arm injury, a lot and stuff, and yeah,
which was my favorite thing, because WWE and continuity don't go together.
yeah,
But with this continuity, I
they
thought
did
it
a
was
good
brilliant.
job.
She comes in, she's still champion. She comes in and is a champ, selling her injury well.
Mm-hmm.
She did a great job.
She did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Kairi Sane, that was great.
It was.
I'm glad that she came up, and Dana Brooke eliminated her. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
That was crazy. And yeah, so maybe they're gonna turn Dana Brooke like hardcore heel or something. I don't know. But yeah, Kairi Sane's awesome. I'm glad she got to do her elbow. Looked sick as always. I can't wait for her and Ember Moon. That has to happen at least once. It has to happen at least once. Rock and Eddie Guerrero only happened once, but it was amazing. This needs to happen at least once. So yeah, it was really good. That whole thing. Man, I'm trying to think of anything else. Like, I'm glad that everybody, had a chance to come in and shine. So I really enjoyed it. It was awesome. First Royal Rumble match for the women's division, I think was a hole in one. I thought it was a really good success. The right person did win. Asuka absolutely needed to win this.
I agree.
And history is made because both Royal Rumble winners are Japanese. Shinsuke Nakamura, I'm pretty sure, is the first Japanese winner. I don't think there's been another one.
Eat it, New Japan. I'm pretty sure that's what WWE said. That's not what I said.
Probably. But I don't think there has been.
I don't know.
I don't think there has been a Japanese. Like, there might have been somebody who was like part Japanese or something.
I assume not.
I don't think there's anybody who has. But yeah, so yeah, first Japanese winner, and then the first women's winner is Japanese. So that's really cool. So. And I was last night, like, I was totally just like, well, I totally called my shot for both of them. I was like, they're gonna make double history. So,
part of me was hoping that they would do something different, but you're looking back and it's like, no, both those people should have won.
yeah.
So,
and I'm glad that they just went ahead and had Shinsuke say who he was gonna face. They're like, you have a choice of champion. Who do you want to face? And he just,
No, Yokozuna is not Japanese.
Yeah, he's Samoan.
Sorry, I was like, Yokozuna. No, he's not Japanese.
Because I was thinking that. I was like, Yoko. Nope, he is totally Samoan. He is.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list here, and I'm not seeing anyone. Undertaker's not Japanese that I know of. Yeah, looks like the first Japanese winner. Yeah, fun.
Cool. Yeah, so. Royal Rumble weekend is in the books. A lot of fun stuff happened this week. A lot of great matches. A lot of big surprises. Probably one of the best wrestling weekends ever in a really long time. It's just really, really fun. A lot of good stuff. One of the best Royal Rumble events, not just the matches in history. It's awesome. So real quick before we head out, what would you give Royal Rumble a letter grade?
I want to give it an A.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna give it a B+, mostly because the other matches didn't add anything to it.
Okay.
That's just my thought. The two Royal Rumbles, both of those, the actual matches give an A+ for me.
Okay.
But the rest of the card gets a B+. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna move up just a tad. Give it an A-. So yeah, it gets an A- for me. For the reason you suggested, the other matches didn't really elevate it a lot, or if any. They were just kind of there because you have two Royal Rumble matches. Nobody's gonna pay attention to the other matches really. And yeah, the other matches were okay, but nothing great. But yeah, the two Rumbles were amazing. It gets an A- from me. So, folks, that is it. We can call it good. That was the NXT TakeOver and the Royal Rumble. We will see you Friday for our weekly recaps. Please go watch NXT TakeOver and the Royal Rumble. Amazing weekend of wrestling. Thanks for stopping by, wrestling fans. This is Caleb.
This is Jeremy.
Signing off.
Peace.